Elvis Presley, forever hailed as the king of rock and roll, left an indelible mark on the 20th century. While his influence continues to reverberate worldwide, there's a trove of captivating and lesser-known facts about this iconic figure. Fortunately, Priscilla Presley, renowned for her role in Dallas and her marriage to Elvis from 1967 to 1973, has unveiled some truly astonishing insights into the life of the king of rock and roll. Join us in this eye-opening video as we peel back the layers of Elvis's enigmatic persona, uncovering his quirks and the extraordinary requests he made of his beloved Priscilla. Elvis never had naturally black hair. Beyond the glittering stage persona and the swaying hips, there's an intriguing secret hidden beneath Elvis Presley's iconic black hair. Contrary to popular belief, his hair was not naturally black. It was meticulously dyed. The king of rock and roll was actually born with blonde hair, a detail that might surprise even his most devoted fans. From a young age, Elvis was determined to craft an image that exuded edginess and charisma. To achieve that signature jet black look, he resorted to hair dye, marking the beginnings of his transformation into a rock and roll legend. As a budding artist, he experimented with various methods, even confessing to having used black shoe polish in his early years to darken his hair. Just average. Elvis Presley's journey to becoming the king of rock and roll was far from a smooth one. During his school days, he faced discouragement from an unexpected source, his music teacher. Elvis received the disheartening verdict of being just average from this influential figure, a judgment that could have easily stifled his musical ambitions. Moreover, Elvis's passion for music made him something of an outlier among his peers. He was often teased for his inclination towards what some termed hillbilly music, an early indication of his unique musical taste that would eventually reshape the music industry. The young Elvis, grappling with his own insecurities, harbored a strong aversion to performing in front of others. He didn't want to play the guitar. Elvis Presley's journey into the world of music took an unexpected turn when he was just 11 years old. Surprisingly, his early interests didn't gravitate towards melodies and chords. Instead, he harbored a fascination with firearms. Elvis's youthful desire was to sport a firearm on his hip, a preference that might have taken him down a completely different path. However, his mother, recognizing the potential risks, firmly vetoed the idea. It was only when Elvis received his first guitar that his life took a melodious turn. Initially, the young Elvis might have preferred a different accessory, but as he began strumming those strings and discovering the captivating world of music, his passion was ignited. The guitar became his new love, a transformative moment that would eventually lead him to conquer the hearts of millions around the world. Never perform it outside of North America. Despite Elvis Presley's immense popularity and legion of fans spanning the globe, it may come as a surprise that he never ventured beyond the confines of North America for a live performance. Elvis was undoubtedly a touring sensation within the United States and Canada, gracing stages across these countries with his electrifying performances. However, the rest of the world was left yearning for a glimpse of the king of rock and roll. One prevalent belief among many is that Elvis's manager played a pivotal role in keeping him from embarking on a worldwide tour. Whether it was due to logistical concerns, contractual obligations, or a desire to maintain the aura of exclusivity, the decision to limit Elvis's live shows to North America remains a subject of speculation and debate among fans and historians alike. He was in the Army. In 1958, Elvis Presley faced a momentous turning point in his life that remains virtually unimaginable for today's superstar celebrities. He received his draft notice, signaling that he would be required to serve in the United States Army. However, what set Elvis apart during this pivotal period was his unwavering commitment to being a regular soldier rather than seeking preferential treatment. At the time of his draft, Elvis was presented with a unique opportunity. He was offered a position in special services, a role that would have allowed him to entertain fellow soldiers while enjoying priority housing and privileges. It was a path that many might have eagerly embraced, given the chance to maintain a semblance of their superstar status, even in the military. Yet, Elvis made a remarkable decision. He turned down the offer and chose to serve as a regular soldier, subject to the same rules and experiences as his comrades. This choice to forego special treatment and celebrity perks resonated deeply with both his critics and admirers. Elvis met Priscilla when she was 14 years old. Shortly after Elvis Presley was drafted into the United States Army, he was stationed in Germany, marking a significant phase in his life and career. It was during this overseas deployment that he had a fateful encounter with a young Priscilla Presley, forever altering the course of both their lives. At the time, Elvis was 24 years old, while Priscilla was just 14, signaling a notable age difference between them. Their meeting eventually led to a romantic relationship that would capture the public's attention, and the couple's union culminated in marriage. However, this union came at a considerable cost to Priscilla, who had to navigate the challenges and expectations that came with being married to one of the most iconic figures in the world. Dating Elvis wasn't always easy for Priscilla. Priscilla Presley's journey alongside Elvis Presley was not without its challenges, particularly given her young age at the time they met. She has candidly shared that dating Elvis was an experience that came with its own set of complexities. One of the most significant sacrifices she made was the loss of her own identity and the opportunity to fully embrace her teenage years. At a time when most teenagers are exploring their individuality, forming their own beliefs, and discovering their passions, Priscilla found herself in a unique situation. Her deep connection and constant companionship with Elvis from a young age meant that she absorbed not only his lifestyle but also his way of thinking. Spending so much time with a larger-than-life figure like Elvis naturally influenced her perspective and values, shaping her into a reflection of the king of rock and roll himself. Elvis hated spending nights alone. Elvis Presley's aversion to spending his nights alone was a well-known aspect of his life, and it has often been speculated that this sentiment was deeply intertwined with the grief he felt over the loss of his beloved mother, Gladys Presley. Tragically, shortly after Elvis was stationed in Germany during his army service, his mother passed away, leaving him devastated and emotionally vulnerable. The bond between Elvis and Gladys had always been exceptionally strong, and her untimely death left an indelible void in his heart. While Priscilla Presley was a significant presence in Elvis's life, providing companionship and support during his post-army years, it is worth noting that she was not always the one by his side during his nights. Elvis's fame and charisma made him a magnet for adoration, drawing countless fans and admirers into his world. As a result, he often found himself in the company of various individuals, both professionally and personally. Elvis wanted Priscilla to remain untouched before she married him, but was not faithful to her. Upon Elvis's return to the United States following his military service, Priscilla recounted how he implored her to make a solemn promise to remain untouched as I left you. This request was reiterated when she bid him farewell after her initial visit to Graceland nearly 2 years later. Throughout this time, Elvis maintained his relationship with his previous girlfriend, Anita Wood. Priscilla later revealed that she had discovered Anita's presence at Graceland, where she had been staying in Elvis's room just 1 day before Priscilla's first visit. Upon permanently relocating to Tennessee to continue her education, Priscilla also recalled instances when Elvis openly flirted with other women in her presence. She candidly acknowledged that there were times when she chose to ignore evidence suggesting that Elvis had been intimate with other women. On one occasion, Priscilla confronted Elvis about his flirtatious comments directed towards a friend's girlfriend. His response was a heated outburst. "Look, woman, no one tells me who I can look at and who I can't." Elizabeth Stefaniak. Elvis Presley's time in Germany during his military service was marked by several significant romantic involvements, including a brief but notable relationship with a 19-year-old German girl named Elizabeth Stefaniak. Elizabeth's connection to Elvis began when she approached him, requesting an autograph. Intrigued by her charm and enthusiasm, Elvis decided to hire her to handle his fan mail. During their time together, Elvis and Elizabeth developed a connection that went beyond their professional interactions. Their romance blossomed amidst the backdrop of Elvis's military duties and newfound responsibilities. Elizabeth, known affectionately as Lilo by Elvis, was captivated by the charismatic singer's charm and charisma. However, their love story was destined to be short-lived. Elvis's impending return to the United States to marry Priscilla marked the end of his romance with Elizabeth. One marriage. While Elvis Presley earned the reputation of being a charismatic ladies' man, it's worth noting that the only woman he ever married was Priscilla Beaulieu. Their wedding took place in Las Vegas in 1967 and was indeed a significant event. Elvis and Priscilla made for an adorable and glamorous couple, often seen in the spotlight and at the center of media attention. However, the public's perception of their marriage didn't always align with the reality of their relationship. Despite the outward appearance of a fairy tale romance, the couple faced their fair share of challenges and complexities. Behind the scenes, the pressures of fame, Elvis's demanding career, and the constant scrutiny of the media took a toll on their marriage. Elvis's rigorous touring schedule and extended periods away from home contributed to strains in their relationship. Additionally, the weight of being in the spotlight and living up to the image of the king of rock and roll added stress to their union. Elvis never saw. Priscilla without makeup. Priscilla Presley's revelations about her life with Elvis Presley offer a fascinating glimpse into the enigmatic world of the king of rock and roll. One of the astonishing aspects of their relationship was Elvis's insistence on maintaining an air of mystique and glamour around Priscilla. Elvis had a peculiar request that Priscilla was more than willing to accommodate. He never wanted to see her without makeup. To him, preserving the allure and mystique of their relationship was of utmost importance. Priscilla, understanding his desire, kept her makeup impeccably intact whenever they were together. It wasn't just about makeup. Elvis's fixation on mystique extended to other aspects of their life together. He never wanted to witness Priscilla getting dressed. This desire for secrecy and allure added an intriguing layer of complexity to their relationship. Priscilla recalled that it took years before she felt comfortable enough to let Elvis see her with minimal makeup. Priscilla recognized that there was a power imbalance between her and Elvis, and said that she began to see him almost as a god. In the opening chapter of her memoir, Priscilla candidly reflects on her 14-year relationship with Elvis, a connection that commenced when she was just 14 years old and he was 24. She openly acknowledges that this relationship wasn't always characterized by healthiness. In her poignant words, she writes, "He became my guiding influence in everything, from teaching me how to dress and walk to imparting the art of makeup application and hairstyling. He molded my behavior, shaped my understanding of love, all according to his unique perspective. As the years passed, he evolved into my protector, my partner, and almost a figure akin to a deity." Elvis molded Priscilla into his ideal of a perfect woman. During an early trip to Las Vegas, Elvis confided in Priscilla about his desire for her to transform her natural brunette hair into a darker shade, a change that would complement his own dyed black quiff, which concealed his natural blonde hair. He also encouraged her to apply heavier eye makeup, aiming to enhance the allure of her striking blue eyes. Priscilla further revealed that Elvis had a particular preference for the colors she should wear. She recalled, "He favored me in shades of red, blue, turquoise, emerald green, and black and white, the very same hues that dominated his own wardrobe. She added, "In his eyes, I was like a living doll, a canvas he could fashion as he pleased." As our time together deepened, I found myself gradually adopting his preferences, his insecurities, and his idiosyncrasies, Priscilla reflected, illustrating the extent to which their relationship influenced her choices and identity. Elvis told Priscilla, "It's either me or a career," when she landed a job as a model. Elvis as staunchly opposed to Priscilla pursuing her own career during their time together. While still in her teenage years, Priscilla made the decision to take on a part-time modeling job at a boutique in Memphis, aiming to earn some money independently without having to rely on Elvis or his father, Vernon Presley, for an allowance. In her memoir, she recounted the less-than-enthusiastic response she received from Elvis when she excitedly shared her news over the phone. He told her, "You're gonna have to give it up," emphasizing that she had to choose between him and a career, saying, "Because when I call you, I need you to be there." It was only after her divorce from Elvis that Priscilla began to forge her own career path. In 1973, she established a clothing boutique named Biss & Beau. Later on, she ventured into acting, making appearances on shows like Dallas and other television productions. Priscilla said she couldn't depend on Elvis when she was going through difficult periods. Although she was asked to set aside her own career to be at Elvis's beck and call, Priscilla noted that this expectation didn't apply in both directions. In her words, "If I was disturbed or depressed, or if I felt we were growing apart and wanted to bridge the gap through conversation, he would avoid me or criticize my timing," she explained. There never seemed to be a right time for such discussions. Elvis was possessive and jealous when Priscilla developed friendships with other men at Graceland. In spite of forming friendships with the guys in Elvis's entourage, he made it clear that I was his girl, and no one should ever forget that. He insisted that I should never grow too close or become too familiar with any of his regular companions, Priscilla recounted. She went on to share an incident as an example, recalling a time when she left Elvis's bedroom to grab a bite to eat and engaged in a conversation with Jerry Schilling, one of Elvis's close friends and business associates, who later became Lisa Marie Presley's manager. Upon discovering them talking in the kitchen, Elvis angrily exclaimed, "What the hell are you two doing down here?" and immediately instructed Priscilla to return upstairs while displaying his displeasure towards Jerry. Priscilla put her own needs second to Elvis, and her studies suffered as a result. During her initial years at Graceland, Priscilla was leading a hectic life. Balancing her school commitments during the day, she would then stay up late into the early morning hours, accompanying Elvis to movies and fairgrounds. Reflecting on this period, she described, "Every available moment was dedicated to cramming an entire semester's worth of work into just a few weeks. However, my focus was scattered, and the stresses of life at Graceland had finally caught up with me." To cope with the pressure and to prepare for her final exams, Priscilla admitted that, at Elvis's suggestion, she began taking a combination of prescription medications. She believed it would help her maintain her fast-paced lifestyle and, more importantly, assist her in studying. This decision came after a previous incident involving sleeping pills that had caused her to sleep for 2 days, as depicted in the Coppola film. Although she contemplated confiding in one of the nuns at her Catholic school about the overwhelming pressure to excel academically while being there for Elvis, she ultimately chose not to. Instead, Priscilla revealed that she resorted to passing her exams by offering a straight-A student a bribe to discreetly share their test paper, allowing her to copy down the answers. Priscilla was left with a swollen black eye and bruises on her arms after a pillow fight with Elvis. Priscilla shared in her book several incidents where Elvis used his physical strength during moments of conflict. One particular incident occurred while both were under the influence of uppers. They had engaged in a playful pillow fight, but it came to an abrupt end when the Heartbreak Hotel singer became upset about the force with which Priscilla was hurling the pillows. Priscilla recounted, "He grabbed my arm, threw me onto the bed, and while demonstrating how hard I had thrown the pillows, he accidentally struck me in the eye." She continued, "I turned my head away and quickly got up, accusing him of intentionally hitting me." According to Priscilla, her arm bore bruises from where Elvis had grabbed her, and her eye was left swollen and discolored. To further emphasize her point and make him feel guilty, she wore an eye patch over the bruised area. This led to teasing from others, and Elvis humorously remarked, "Couldn't help it. She tried to get rough with me. I had to show her who's boss." Elvis made threats and demanded Priscilla pack up her things and leave when she confronted him about his affairs. Elvis's infidelity and the challenges Priscilla faced in dealing with it are recurring themes in Elvis and Me. Priscilla recounted an instance where she stumbled upon notes and cards from another woman indicating Elvis might be involved in another affair, following his relationship with his Viva Las Vegas co-star, Anne Margaret. Frustrated and hurt, Priscilla decided to confront Elvis about her findings. In response, Elvis took a surprising and unsettling action. He emptied her closet of clothes and instructed her to pack her belongings and return to her parents' home in Germany. Priscilla described feeling humiliated by this sudden turn of events and found herself overcome with uncontrollable sobs. Elvis watched as she packed her things, and it was only when she was at the door that he revealed she wasn't actually being sent away. As Priscilla wrote, "I was relieved and happy to be back in his arms. Anything he'd have said would have made sense to me in that moment. What I didn't realize until later was that this was Elvis's technique of keeping me under control." At one point, Priscilla felt the only way to get Elvis's attention was by overdosing on pills. After witnessing Elvis openly flirting with other women once again, Priscilla hatched a desperate plan in an attempt to grab his attention. Her intention was to stage a dramatic scenario, believing it would finally make him take notice of her. Her plan involved deliberately overdosing on placidals, a sedative both she and Elvis regularly used to aid sleep. Tearfully, she swallowed the pills and began preparing herself for what she thought might be the end. In her distress, she contemplated leaving him a note, pouring out all the unspoken words and emotions she had kept inside. However, as time passed, Priscilla realized that Elvis hadn't even noticed her absence from the gathering. This realization led her to abandon her drastic plan. "The more I heard Elvis's laughter, the angrier I got. My adrenaline-charged fury was overriding the effect of the pills. Soon, I began to feel foolish," she recalled. The choice to marry wasn't only up to the couple. Despite the intense love between Elvis and Priscilla, there have been persistent rumors suggesting that their marriage was influenced, at least in part, by Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker. According to these speculations, Colonel Parker believed that a wedding between Elvis and Priscilla would be a strategic move to enhance Elvis's public image and career. The idea behind this alleged strategy was that presenting Elvis as a married man would make him more appealing and relatable to his predominantly female fan base. It was thought that portraying him as a devoted husband would help maintain his wholesome and charming image, which was a significant asset in the entertainment industry. While these rumors have circulated for years, it's essential to note that the true motivations behind Elvis and Priscilla's marriage remain a subject of debate and speculation. Distance after children. Elvis and Priscilla's marriage, which began in 1967, faced its share of challenges and underwent significant changes over the years. The birth of their daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, in 1968 marked a pivotal moment in their relationship. While the arrival of their child initially brought them closer, it also introduced new dynamics and responsibilities into their lives. As new parents, Elvis and Priscilla had to juggle the demands of parenthood along with their individual careers and the pressures of Elvis's fame. This period of adjustment created some distance between the couple as they navigated the complexities of parenthood and maintaining their public personas. In 1972, after several years of marriage, Elvis and Priscilla made the difficult decision to separate and eventually divorce. The reasons behind their split were multifaceted and have been the subject of much speculation and discussion over the years. Some sources suggest that the demands of Elvis's career and lifestyle played a role, while others point to the challenges of maintaining a relationship in the spotlight. While their marriage came to an end, Elvis and Priscilla continued to share a deep connection as they co-parented their daughter, Lisa Marie, the book that killed Elvis. In the final weeks leading up to his tragic passing, Elvis Presley faced not only personal turmoil, but also the public revelation of intimate details from his life. Just 2 weeks before his death, the book titled Elvis, What Happened was published. This book, penned by 3 of Elvis's former bodyguards, divulged numerous secrets and candid insights into the King's personal life, including his struggles with addiction and his health. Elvis, understandably distressed by the book's release, attempted to halt its publication to no avail. The stress and emotional turmoil resulting from the book's revelations took a severe toll on his health. It exacerbated several pre-existing medical conditions, including his enlarged colon, high blood pressure, liver damage, and glaucoma. Tragically, just a mere 2 weeks after the book's release, Elvis Presley passed away. His untimely death sent shockwaves throughout the world, marking the end of an era in music and pop culture. The circumstances surrounding his death, including the impact of the book and his ongoing health struggles, continue to be a subject of fascination and discussion among fans and historians alike. Elvis's legacy as a legendary musician endures, and his story serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of fame and the toll it can take on even the most iconic figures.